Today, I've got 7 great new cask strength whiskeys that nobody is talking about. Yet. Stick around. What's up, guys? Jeff coming to you from the 18, and first off, I just hit 30,000 subscribers this week, which is amazing. So really quickly, I just want to thank everyone for that. 30,000 is a huge number, and I feel very famous and important right now. Now, for the record, I don't think I'm that famous that I can start looking down on the people around me, but I do hope to achieve a level of fame where I can start, because treating other people as equals, it's exhausting, and I don't care for it. Anyway, thanks again to everyone who follows the channel. You're absolute legends. And today, we are going to be talking about some whiskeys that not a lot of people are talking about. These are all going to be relatively new whiskeys, and they're all cask strength. Okay, fine. Maybe they're not all super new. I think the oldest whiskey on this list came out 2 or 3 years back. And maybe they're not all cask strength. Some of them are just going to be high ABV, not necessarily cask strength. But I needed a clickbait title, and I didn't want to get bogged down by accuracy. Point is, if you want to discover some new-ish whiskeys with a punchy ABV behind them, this is the video. The way I've structured it is we have the most expensive whiskeys at the back of this list, and the top spot is going to be the cheapest. Now, my market is a little bit different in terms of pricing, and some of these aren't even sold here. I had to source them from abroad, so we're just going to base this on UK pricing. Once again, it'll be most expensive down to cheapest, and all of these come highly recommended by me, a very famous and very important person. As usual, this is a G whiskey video, which means we have a mystery pour in the glass. Your hint for today is that this is a heavily peated Islay whiskey. It's also sherried. It's of course cask strength, and it's actually a cask strength version of a standard release from that line, from that brand. This is one that I've reviewed before on the channel, and I liked it, and we'll leave it at that. Good luck guessing, and let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into our list. In the meantime, if you will kindly leave a like down below, blah, 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 blah. All right, at the back of this list, as I said, it's going to be the most expensive whiskey on this list, and I'm not going to tell you that it's great value or that you should buy it, but I am going to tell you that it's absolutely delicious. What I've got is the Tamdhu cigar malt. Now, this one is batch 3 from 2023. I think we only had one release after this, which was batch 4, and that one came out back in 2024. I did try that one. I actually prefer batch 3, but batch 4 was delicious as well. Any Tamdhu cigar malt, you're getting some quality there. What do we need to know about this stuff? Fully matured in first fill European oak sherry casks. Our ABV on this one is always going to be 53.8%, and our price is 215 pounds. So yeah, definitely not cheap, but it is a big step up from stuff like the batch strength releases if you're looking for a cask strength Tamdhu. In fact, this is one of my favorite Tamdhus. Granted, I don't like it quite as much as the 18-year-old, and in the UK that only sells for I think 176, 178 pounds. So I do prefer that one, and I would recommend it over this one. But if you're on the market for a top shelf Tamdhu and you insist on a higher ABV, which a lot of people do, this is probably the best option for that. I would describe it as lush, elegant sherry. And it's something, if you're into big sherry forward whiskeys, this is one of the better options out there. Expensive, yes, but absolutely beautiful. Tamdhu cigar malt. All right, next up on this list, we have Roseisle 14. This one is part of the Diageo 2025 special release lineup, and this brand is one of the newer additions to that lineup, and I'm really enjoying it. Now, I loved the first Roseisle release, the 12-year-old from 2023. Excellent stuff. The 2024, not quite as good, but still really solid, and this 14-year-old keeps that tradition going. This is an excellent pour of whiskey, albeit not that cheap. This one comes in at 137 pounds. This stuff is pretentiously named Harmonic Grace. It has been matured in rejuvenated and refill casks. What kind of casks? Don't worry about it. Our ABV on this is what? 55.9%. I would describe this as a somewhat traditional profile with orchard fruit, oak, and vanilla. I did prefer that first release back in 2023. I found it was more distillate driven. This one, with the 2 extra years in the casks, of course it does lean a little bit more into those casks, but it still works and the distillate is still quite forward. Which, depending on who you ask, is either going to be a good or a bad thing. But like I said, I did prefer that initial 12-year-old release. This one, still worth a pickup if you're willing to dish out for it. It is an excellent pour of whiskey. Roseisle 14. Next up, we're going to keep the Diageo special release thing going, this time with Oban 12. Now, Oban, despite being somewhat inconsistent with its quality and its bottling releases, in my opinion, remains one of my all-time favorite brands. That house style is on full display here. This one actually harkens back to the first Oban release that we got in the Diageo special release lineup, which was in 2021. That one was also a 12-year-old. That one was also matured in bourbon casks. That one I do prefer over this one, but it's in that direction. This one is called Heart of the Harbor because poetry. It's on sale for 132 pounds and our ABV is 54.7%. So not cheap, but this one is one of the better Oban special releases, top 3. I would describe it as distillate forward, coastal, and bold. And this is probably my favorite ever since that 2022 release, the Space Rabbit one. I don't know what that was called. That one was called Celestial Blaze, which is a dumb name, but the whiskey was good, and so is this. Anyway, this is a nice return to form. I do wish it was cheaper, but it's definitely worth a pickup if you're like me and you're an absolute sucker for Oban and you're a willing cog in the machine of capitalism. Endlessly spinning in consumerism's gleaming hamster wheel, feeding it your time, your energy, and your self-worth while it grinds it all into profit that no one will ever thank you for. Every purchase, every upgrade, every swipe convinces you you're alive when really all you're doing is lubricating the very gears that render you disposable. Choice is an illusion, freedom a marketing campaign, satisfaction is a debt you can never repay. And the cruelest joke? You cheer for your own exploitation, making consumption an accomplishment while the machine purrs on, indifferent and unstoppable. Anyway, this whiskey's pretty good. Oban 12. Coming in at number 4, we have the only blended malt on this list. This is a peated release from Compass Box and it's called Secrets of Smoke. It comes in at 130 pounds and it is absolutely delicious. Now, I do have a bottle of this, but I left it at home, so there we go. Secrets of Smoke. Our base here is mostly Kalila. We get a good chunk of Laphroaig in this as well. There's also Ardmore, Bowmore, and some undisclosed malts. Now, your mileage may vary because this is a no age stated whiskey at 130 pounds, but I do love it. I think this has an absolutely beautiful balance. It isn't just young, loud, no age stated peat. This does offer us elegance, refinement, and other pretentious adjectives. In fact, I would describe this as elegant, complex peat. It does have its own character. It's got layers to it. It's not just peat for the sake of peat. Now, I know some of you want the John Glaser stuff, but John Glaser is gone. The new guy's good. His name is James Saxon. And I know we're supposed to say that everything was better in the before times, but honestly, modern Compass Box is good. I like the direction they've been taking recently. They're not, by the way, paying me to say this. I did reach out and I said, can you send me money in exchange for my integrity? They said no. But yeah, it's good whiskey. All right, so for the top 3, we're finally getting under the 100-pound mark. So we're talking about whiskeys that are a little bit more accessible and affordable. And at number 3, I've got the Aberlour A'bunadh, but this is a new one, and this is called the Sherry Cask Collection. What I've got here is edition 1. This is the first release in a branch-off series of A'bunadh. So this is the 3rd A'bunadh. We have the standard one, we have the Alba, and now we have the Sherry Cask Collection. And if you thought that the standard A'bunadh was sherried, well, this is even sherrier. The difference is that the OG A'bunadh was entirely matured in Oloroso casks. This one has been given an additional finish in other Oloroso casks and also PX casks. Now, I'm hit or miss with PX. Sometimes it leans a little bit too sweet, but here it just adds an extra layer of lushness. Now, I absolutely love the standard A'bunadh, delicious stuff. It does lean a little bit more spicy than this one. This one with the sherry influence or with the PX influence, it is sweeter. It's not cloying, but it is sweeter. It's more like an indulgent, decadent style of sherry, if that makes sense. It's different enough to justify its own existence, I think. Absolutely delicious. Goes for about 95 pounds. It's 56.2%. Absolutely worth checking out. A'bunadh Sherry Cask Collection. All right, coming in at number 2, this is a whiskey that you guys have been asking me to talk about for ages, but it's actually not sold here. So I didn't manage to get my hands on my own bottle, My friend did order in a bottle from the UK, and it's delicious. Ledaig 10 Hebridean Moon. This one actually surprised me because what I'd heard is that this is just an amped up version of the regular 10. I like the 10, but this doesn't taste like just a louder version of that. I think this is better, not just in terms of intensity, but in terms of flavor too. This one comes in at 58.8%. It sells for about 78 pounds in the UK, and I think it's absolutely worth that price tag. Beautiful, intense whiskey, I would describe it. What would I put in my notes? Smoky, coastal, and yeah, intense. Definitely worth a pickup. Ledaig 10 Hebridean Moon. All right, coming in at number 1, this is a bottle that I only just picked up recently. Of course, it's the cheapest whiskey on this list. I've got Ardnamurchan Heritage Barley. This one came out last year in 2025. Its cask strength comes in at 59.2%. It sells for, what, 70 pounds in the UK. Absolutely worth that price. This is a banger of a whiskey. The pitch for this one is that it's been distilled entirely using Golden Promise barley, which supposedly has a lower yield and a more intense flavor. I say supposedly because I don't know anything about barley, and this should be around 6 to 7 years old. I describe this stuff as barley forward, coastal, and oily, and I think for the 70 pounds it's going for, it is absolutely worth it. Beautiful stuff. Ardnamurchan Heritage Barley at number 1. All right, that was the list, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And now it is my wish that you tell me what you think. Have you tried any of these? Did you like them? If you were to try one, which ones are you most keen on trying? And how's the family? How's Kathy doing? Finally, if you stuck around for the mystery pour, I mentioned that this is a heavily peated Islay whiskey. It's also sherried, and it's the cask strength version of one of their standard releases. What I'm drinking is Laphroaig Cartius Lore Cask Strength. So if you like the Laphroaig Lore and if you like cask strength, well, this is both. This one's a 2025 Cartius release. These ones are never sold in my market, but luckily I have a friend who always mules them over from the US for me. So Jack, thank you very much. This one, it is what it says on the tin, right? So it's a sherried Laphroaig, but it's amped up to cask strength. And if that sales pitch sounds appealing to you, then I'm pretty sure you're going to like this one. I don't know about availability. I don't know how quickly these sell out because, as I said, they never make it over here. But if you can still find it on the shelves, definitely worth a pickup. And that brings us to the end of the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, this whole channel is a one-man show, scripting, shooting, editing, all me. So if you want to help out, show your support, I will put Patreon and PayPal down below. Every little bit helps. My patrons are over here. As always, a ridiculously good-looking group of people. Feel free to join them, and I guess we'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.